Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. We're now on episode 5, I believe. We left off the end of the episode just tacking on a couple more of these thermal power plants, and before I started recording, I added 3 more because our power is now pretty good. One tip I wanted to give you guys that I forgot last time is you see this stuff coming off the belt, right? There's no box for these. If you click on the belt and you left click on the circle here, it'll pick up whatever's on the belt. If you see in the lower left hand corner, this is going up. Same thing with the coils. You hold the left mouse button down and it'll keep feeding. I'm not sure if it's like 1 per second or however it works out, but look at that. I already have 77 coils, which is great. I want to do the same thing down here with these. Actually, I don't have that many of these, so I probably won't actually do that now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, we left off last time finishing the hub. And the hub, other than the gears, or the magnetic, what are they called? Yeah, other than the gears, which are only producing 1, so I'm obviously going to expand this. This is going to have to go away, which is not a problem. I'll just relocate it here. I just wanted to kind of jump and get this going last time, but obviously we need to put in another couple of these because I'm just not going to have enough. I really shouldn't handcraft stuff anymore. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to. Let's see. We do, and now you do have a bit of a reach. Okay, I have 33 assemblers already made. Why would I want to even think about handcrafting them anymore? Boom. We're just going to triple production. Actually, let's put in 1 more, because these produce at a rate of 1 per second. So this will be 4 per second on this belt. That can hold more than that. The iron, right now, we are using slightly more iron than we're producing, which is fine. We have a bit of a stockpile here. Not overly worried with it. I'm going to dump 2 more storage boxes on top of that, and I'm going to do the same here. Now we are obviously at our vertical limit. See there, it says exceed maximum height of vertical construction upgradable, which we are not there yet. By default, I think you can place 2 on top of each other. Don't quote me on that. But as you see, our hub is now working, and our mech is full of power. Keep pressing the wrong button, and there we go. So what we want to do is I do want to add on, I don't know if I can add another one of these. Is there any? There is space. Perfect. Because belts can run over top of water, but assemblers can't. But luckily we are just on the edge of that. I'll put down a power pole, and there we are. So now we got to up that a bit, because right now we're producing 2 per second. This will saturate to 4 per second. This will saturate to 6 per second. And that's what we can produce per belt, is 6 per second. Now, mind you, these assemblers are only running at 0.75 speed, because that's what assembler Mark 1s are, 0.75 speed. So even if you have 3 of these, you're not producing a full 6 per second. You would actually need to add 1 more. And I believe that would give you a saturated belt or something along those lines. Also, what's holding us up here, now that I'm looking at this, see again, there's always something, is we're not getting enough iron. So let's double up our iron input and see if that helps a bit. And you know what, it definitely has. Look at that, look how much more coming off the belt. Almost a saturated belt. 1 more would tick it over. But again, we're saturated here, we're saturated here, everything is saturated. Now, because we're going to come to the end of this belt, these 2 products here, I do use quite a lot. Again, why am I handcrafting? That's so silly. Not really. It's fine. Because I use these a lot. What? Oh, I'm actually lacking storage boxes. I'm not sure if I'm even making any yet. I'm going to drag, and I'm going to put just 1 stack of these. That way it'll just be on the end, and it'll kind of be out of the way. Now again, later on, this will all be moved, of course. We don't need any more of that. We can just make 2 of those. And this is simply because I want to have a surplus of these in case I need them to handcraft. And look, already we have 65. Our inventory, we have a lot. And I'm going to dump some more coal. And our hub is basically up and running. Look at this. Let's go through and actually start grabbing things. We can grab a bunch of those, actually I don't need that many sorters to start out with. Assemblers we're good with. I will take them though. Smelters, look at that, almost full up on smelters. I'll take 1 stack. Miners, I'll take all of them. Boxes, won't take all of them. So if you right click is half a stack, and then shift click or left click would be the full stack. These I'm just gonna take, I'll take 1 stack just in case I want to plop them down somewhere. And then of course the Tesla towers, I want to take more than 1 stack. Now, we ended last episode, which was a long episode. I'm sorry about that. This one will be a bit shorter than that. I'm going to stock up on some of that just in case. And the last thing I want to put in a box, now that I'm thinking about it, is the magnetic rings, because these are such a pain in the butt to make. I'm only going to put 1 stack. That's all I need, because these are the things, if you remember, that take iron ore. And I don't want to hold iron ore. I'm just going to dump as much as I can back into everything. I'm just going to grab a stack. That should be good for now. And then this way, just in case I need more, I can grab them. Because I don't want to have to keep handcrafting, you know, basic, not even intermediate products, I guess, at this point. Now, at the end of the episode, look at that, I can fly around. This is quite alright. Oops, wrong button. I want to dump some more coal in there. So what we want to do, let's see, check on power. Power is good. What I want to talk about next is doing these labs here. Now, one thing I do need making labs is glass. Glass would be the next item needed for the next step up of hub. And glass can be made, by making with stone. Now, I'm not going to set up a smelter for that yet. I actually kind of want to just grab this at the end of this. I just want to make enough to make a couple labs. I want to make 4 labs. I actually have 1, so I only need to make 3 labs. So can I make 3? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And because, as I said previously, I want to use, once these are filled up, which we're fine, I actually only need 1 stack of each of those, now that I think about it, is... This is kind of a really not a janky way, but somewhat of a, oops, not there, sorry. Sometimes you get weird pop-ups that kind of just are annoying. You just have to kind of deal with them. Actually, I'm going to put this here. Is that too close? Because sometimes things can be too close together. That's too close. So we just you put one more farther away, no problem. You put 3 inserters. And now here, this one we want to make blue cubes. This one we want to make research. Now blue cubes take, blue cubes take 1 every 3 seconds, which is simple. We have tons of that left over. And because what we can do here is we can build up 3 high. Actually, we need 2 more now that I think about it. I thought you could only do 2 high. Oops, I can only make 1 more. That's okay. I think we'll be... I'm going to steal a little bit more stone. Not really stealing it, because, you know, not really stealing it. I want to dump a couple more labs. While I'm waiting on that, I can actually get this set up. Now, here would be good to have the advanced inserters. I just don't have them right now. That'll be kind of something that's happening a bit later on. Now, what we're going to see is going to happen is just watch up here, is we are making... electromagnetic matrices, blue cubes, if you will. We're making them, and we're dumping them right back into research. But look at our top left corner here, we have research. It says manual research because it's just, you can have this displayed. If you uncheck this, it will not use anything from your inventory, but then also this doesn't show up. For some reason, I like having this display. I don't know why. It doesn't take up any extra space for me on my screen. But look at that. When you have multiple stacked matrix labs, Once they get filled up by 10, some items are 20. I'm not exactly sure which are which. Or sorry, these are 20. It'll jump up and fill the next one. And when that one gets full, it'll fill the next one. That's how you can kind of chain these labs together vertically. Kind of doesn't make any sense chaining things together vertically, but labs work like that. And actually, I think I actually have these. Am I on a fault line now that I think about it? No, it just looks weird because of how they're putting them to the side. I'm not really sure. You see that down there? I don't really know why that's doing that, unless I just don't have it rotated properly, which they should be exactly the same on all sides. Could just be because we're getting closer to the pole, the boxes get smaller. It doesn't matter. Just a visual. But as you can see, we are now topping out. We're just about topping out research. So look how fast our research is going. Probably 1 per second, if not slightly higher. And we're keeping up with our hub. We're keeping up with this. We're doing good. Now, again, this was just a basic thing to get science going. You could double up this again, which heck, I don't know if I want to double it up again. I think I'm going to leave it for now. Unlike Factorio is a bit different because you have your science labs on a belt. Here you have to make them inside of a matrix lab, which is the same thing you use to make like science itself. This is basically the only way you do it now. When we start getting the other colors, then I'll start running a central hub with these surrounding it. But I mean, for now, we're going to let it run. Look at that. Our smelting is already, this research is already done, and we're going to get graphite, silicon, which we can make with stone, which is your way you start off until you can fly to other planets. That's a great one because if you look here, energetic graphite is 6.25 megajoules, which is close to 3 times the amount of coal, and it has a 50% fuel chamber generation compared to coal, which only has 10. So it's significantly better, and it's a 2 to 1 ratio. So basically, for 2 coal, which would only give you around 4 to 5 megajoules, you're getting a 1 graphite that gives you 6.75 with a 50% bonus. So it's definitely better. The next thing I'm researching, what am I researching? Oh yeah, we're going to step up to the next level inserters. I can't go up to the next ones until I get red science. After this, we definitely want to get steel going, and then I would definitely want to start working on, this is environment modification. It's funny that it calls it that, but basically you're making foundations so you can pave the world. Now these take a long time to make. It's 1 per second, and just think about it. Your 1 square on your map is 25 squares. You make it bigger, it's 10 by 10 area, so you go through them very quickly, and it does take 3 stone per second, so you can only have 2 machines off of 1 stone belt because you're maxed out at 6 per second. Because you can't get your next level belts. The way that the science works is a bit weird. You have level 1 and level 1 belts, and level 1 sorters are together, and then it steps up to level 2 sorters, and then it steps up to level 3 in sorters and level 2 belts, and then you jump up to level 3 belts, and when you start getting into planetary logistics systems, which is definitely something that I like. Look at that. Already we have splitters and we have Mark II sorters. Having science labs, I know we're not looking at, we're looking at the text screen, it's so handy. If you just look up here, look at the number ticking down, 7, 6, 5. It's when you get things a little bit automated, it's so great. As I was saying, I'm just kind of going over the tech tree a little bit here. I like to try to get logistics going as quickly as possible within reason. Now, to make these, you do need titanium, so you have to get off planet to make them, and then you gotta start making the purple tubes down there. I'm not sure what those are called. I don't think we can even make those yet. I'm not even sure where they're. The plasma containers, I think that's what they're called. I don't even know where the heck they are. Doesn't really matter. But we can start researching things that are in blue. But it's like, well, what do we need to research? Well, this is definitely one of them. This, we don't need fluid at this exact second yet. And I'd like to start working on solar panels at some point. Crystal smelting, which will go into which is used for your yellow science, which we're not quite there yet. And there's a lot of stuff here, but we have a bunch of research queued up for techs. I want to get back to upgrades, because look at all these upgrades that we now are eligible. This unlocks the vein reserves for the whole planetary system. So there's 2 planets that we looked at, I think it was last time. We're going to research that. So now we can look to see exactly what is on those planets. Your mecha core, we can't do anymore. Frame speed, we will be able to do this eventually. Excuse me, eventually. But you know what? I'm going to queue it up anyway. Inventory capacity is always nice. That one I can do in hand. Now I think I have a couple more that I like to do. Drones, I can't go any farther. That I can't go any farther. This I can't. Oh, queue is full. Sorry, you can only research 7 things at once. Now, as I'm looking here, we are out of something. Oh no, we are out of circuit boards. And the reason why we're out of circuit boards is we're out of iron. Oh no, why are we out of iron? Well, because we ran out of our reserves, because we only have 1 belt of input and we have 2 full belts of output. So obviously that doesn't work, does it? Well, it looks like instead of jumping ahead of what I wanted to do, we have to find some more iron. So let's pull up our map, turn vein distribution on, always center ourselves. Well, the next closest iron looks like it's right here, which this is a quite big one. This is a 420, so I should be able to get 8 machines around that. So I should be able to set up maybe 8 machines or 8 miners. Should be able to set up at least 1 or 2 more smelting columns. Because if you remember, one of these miners that's on 4 nodes can produce 3 per second. I want to get away from the sound a little bit. It's a little bit loud in my earphones. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, basically 1 node produces 30 per minute or something like that. I'd have to do that. So 3 of them is 3 per second. So 1 of them is I'm losing track of myself, so just ignore me. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to fill these. And I always just want to get 6. Some people say you don't have to do it like that. I like to do it like that to get as much as I can. Can I squeeze another one in there? That's not exactly 6. 2. Oh, it is 6. Sorry. So that means we can have 3 smelters. Smelting columns, if you will. Which is great. So let's get that set up. And I'm just going to set one of them up, because we are running out of time. This has to be a bit shorter of an episode. So you know what? Let's get this basic one. We'll get one set up just to give you guys a refresher on how to do it. And we're just going to drag that out like that. And we're just going to make that. And again, when the drones are going to get faster, so just keep that in mind. Because right now we have to kind of wait for the drones. And we only have 3 drones. They take forever, excuse me. So when you're trying to lay down a bunch of machinery at once, it sometimes doesn't work. But here we can just kind of copy paste, and we can get these columns back up and running. Now, one other tech which we can't actually research yet, which I want to next, is actually mass construction, which we can't because the queue is full. This allows you to blueprint 60 things at once. Now, you don't have to set a blueprint where you have to like save it and go back into it. You can make one blueprint that you don't save, that you just basically copy and paste. That you don't have to save it, which is handy for things like this. Like, I don't need to make a full blueprint of this. I just want to copy all of this, paste. But anyway, let's just get one of them set up so we can say we at least got something set up. Now, every one of these is on at least 6 veins. You can see here it says how many veins. Now, if you have 1 on 5 and you have 1 on 7, that will still equal 12. All right? That's how math works, of course. So it's real easy just to kind of join certain things together, just like this. I want to get one going, and then I'm going to work on the other columns, probably off camera, and then obviously we can come back to see that. But look at that. Yay, we have iron. And before we call it a night, I want to drag this down over to here somewhere. So let's just kind of, if you press the, you see how, there we go. If you see how you can go up and then to the left, you press the R key, you can go diagonal, which you do save that way. But I like building based on the grid. And if you hit R again, it changes where the snap point goes to. So I think for now, we're just going to snap it to there, and we're going to drag it to that. That's going to be a little bit for the bots to do, which is probably a good place for us to stop. Now, the key thing is, let's go to our map view, is we have science, automated science. Not very much, because we ran out of iron, of course, which we are rectifying that as we speak. But we are counting down. Now, this research is to get foundations, which that takes 400 cubes, which that's a lot. A lot of these things take a lot less amount. This one only takes 50, 50, 200, and then we start going to get into making other things that don't require it at all, 100. And it's basically, the more kind of beneficial something is, the more it costs in a roundabout way, which is kind of a silly thing to say, but it makes sense. Foundations are useful. Like here, for instance, I'd love to pave over this water. It looks beautiful, but I don't need the water here. But again, you see, as we keep going on, I don't pave the entire world on my starter home. I like to leave it somewhat natural-ish, I guess you could call it, because it does look so nice. Now, if we're looking where the bottleneck is right here. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I can sneak anything into this, but that's a silly thing to say, because of course I can. I can grab, actually I can't. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to I'm not going to work with the splitter yet. I just want to get this set up, and we can work with that another time. Because I want to kind of run this like this to make sure this is going to, make sure the science keeps working, because that is very key. Eventually this will all back up, and then we don't have to worry about it. But we have one more drone to put in, and then we're going to start making iron. Let's just make sure, am I out of power yet? Now we are. Okay. Just want to make sure this is going to connect, which of course is going to connect. I just want to saturate this belt 100%. And that way, once we start getting down into here, because we're using iron to make the chips, which is what the holdup is. Now, we don't have issues with iron that much on our hub, because now it's not saturating the belt, but the hub is always like kind of in the background. We want to get the labs working. And now look, we're saturated again. Perfect. So now we are making science. See, it only takes sometimes these little tweaks, and then you can really start pumping out things. And speaking of that, we have sorter MK2s, and I say Mach 2, but whatever. And we have splitters, which I think we'll definitely start using next time. I'll just show you. We can just upgrade by clicking just like that. Oh, and I'm out of sorters already. How convenient. Anyway, I'm very happy with getting science set up. We did a little bit more tweaking on the hub, and we got another mining outpost set up, which we will continue with next time. Thank you for watching.